down or get down. I'm about to hit ground when I'm in a box. My head's way out of this bound. Nobody's stopping me. You know it's right. Most of your love and me doing it all night. Keeping my friends close and my foes closer. Things get messy, but I never let them know. So as I get older, see things slower. My enemies looking like kids, and I'm the grown up. I'm the next masterpiece made. The new generation came up with a beast ace. I'm the Mr. Nice Guy. See, I'm a wise guy, not a mafioso, but a hustle like mine. Lay low if you're feeling me. I take these beats, freaks go crazy with me. So put it up in this grace with me. Shake with a man, L to the J, now follow me. Oh. Ooh, yeah. Baby, baby. Whenever you up, stop me, cause I tend to go too far. Watch me, nobody's dropping me into my life, so you better all mind your biz. I'm in my league, in my own, that's how I play. It's a nice place here. I really like it when I get it erased. And you've been talking quite from afar. Stop hitting superstar, you in Mars. Love of many and hated by some. You appreciate greatness, what I've become. When it's all said and done, you know you're gonna miss me. Regret what you said when I'm gone. Climbed up the fence and you took offense. Stop being trash and start making sense. I'm the one, only one, you already know what it is. The shadows all mass destruction. Ooh, yeah. Baby, baby. Ooh, yeah. Baby, baby. Ooh, yeah. I'm about to take down these enemies. They've been around with the same name. Baby, baby. The energies we hold this league for the best team. Ooh, yeah. Can't run away from the bulls, can't fall on the shit for it. Baby, baby. Let's take the best of me. Rest is history.
Testing. Okay, sorry about that. I fucked that up. Let's try again. Today, we'll be going through Kumura's palace and probably one of the most difficult parts of the game, as later on, we'll be going up against Kumura himself. It's going to be such a tough time getting past those dumb robot bodyguards. We'll see if we have what it takes in New Game Plus. I want to welcome our viewers on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Facebook, and indeed all around the world. I'm Spyro Kid, and this is Persona 5 Royal. Okay, this is Persona 5 Royal. Welcome to part 57 of Persona 5 Royal Hard Mode, 5 times HP, half gold EXP with Gay Joker mod. How are all you guys today? I am doing pretty good. Hello to Steam Power Dolphin, Millennia Salazar on YouTube, and Jerky joining us in Twitch as a moderator. Thank you guys so much for joining us, joining me rather. How are all of you today? And we'll start Persona 5 in just a few moments, but first we have to take a look at today's top stories, and especially a very important story for North America and perhaps around the world, and the economy, which is the US trade war. And we'll get to that in a moment. Let's take a look first at today's top stories, starting off with Reuters' 5 things you need to know.
America is back.
Trump touts... Oh, excuse me.
Members are directed to uphold and...
Trump touts a relentless start to his term in a speech to Congress, drawing jeers from Democrats.
House and to cease any further disruptions.
Ukraine is ready to come.
Donald Trump claims Ukraine is willing to negotiate and says Russia is, quote, ready for peace, unquote.
The Ukrainians, he said.
German political parties agree on an historic debt overhaul to revamp their military and economy. China to boost food imports from Latin America and Europe as the US trade war escalates. And lastly, LeBron James becomes the first NBA player to score 50,000 total points during a blowout win over the Pelicans. That is 5 things you need to know today from Reuters. Up next, in depth, Trump lauds aggressive start to term in speech to Congress. This from Reuters.
U.S. President Donald Trump took a victory lap on Tuesday in his first speech to Congress since taking office.
To my fellow citizens, America is back.
The president went on to assail his Democratic predecessor, Joe Biden, attacked immigrant criminals as savages and what he called transgender ideology. The speech drew catcalls and interruptions from some Democratic lawmakers who held up signs and walked out mid-speech in protest. Early on, Texas Congressman Al Green stood and shook his cane at Trump. He appeared to be shouting that Trump did not win a mandate in November's election. When he refused to sit down, Green was ordered removed to cheers from the Republican side.
Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Trump's speech came just a day after he paused all military aid to Ukraine, and less than a week after a disastrous Oval Office meeting, Trump angrily berated Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump read from a letter he said he had received from Zelensky earlier in the day.
The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer.
Trump added there were signs from Russia they were ready for a deal that would bring an end to the war in Ukraine.
Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Trump also said Ukraine was ready to sign a minerals deal with the U.S. Washington says that deal is crucial to secure continued U.S. backing for Ukraine's defense. Trump also reiterated his intention to impose additional blanket reciprocal tariffs on April 2nd.
Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
On this point, many Republicans remain seated, a signal of how Trump's tariffs have divided his party. The move would likely roil financial markets even more after a dip this week, which Trump did not mention in his speech. He also barely mentioned stubbornly high prices, blaming Biden and saying he was fighting every day to lower costs. According to a new Reuters Ipsos poll, just 1 in 3 Americans approve of Trump's handling of the cost of living, underscoring concerns that his tariffs could increase inflation.
Going to be a lot more expensive coming for people all around North America and slightly for China. Up next, going in depth into this issue, which has made me angry over the past few days, as everything is just going to get more expensive for certain things. Trade wars erupt as Trump hits Canada, Mexico, and China with tariffs. This once again from Reuters.
Fresh trade wars kicked off Tuesday between the US and its top 3 trading partners, Canada, Mexico, and China, with new steep tariffs from Washington taking effect and triggering retaliation. On Monday night, US President Donald Trump accused all 3 targeted countries of failing to stop the flow of fentanyl into the US. Just after midnight on the US East Coast, Canadian and Mexican goods were hit with tariffs of 25%. And Trump's new tariffs on Chinese goods were doubled by an extra 10% to a cumulative 20%. Those new tariffs will apply to some major consumer electronics imported by the US, previously untouched by prior duties, including laptops, video game consoles, and Bluetooth devices. On Tuesday, China announced its own tariffs of 10 to 15%, mostly targeting US agriculture like soybeans, meat, and cotton, and added new export restrictions for designated US entities. Speaking to reporters Tuesday, a Chinese parliamentary spokesperson said China was willing to resolve US concerns through consultation and dialogue, but will not accept threats and oppression. Meanwhile, US tariffs on goods from Mexico and Canada will likely cause deeper repercussions for the highly integrated North American economy. Canada and Mexico have for decades enjoyed a virtually tariff-free trading relationship with the US. After Trump confirmed tariffs would proceed, financial markets reeled and global stocks tumbled. Both the Canadian dollar and Mexican peso fell against the US dollar. Automaker shares fell sharply, especially for major firms General Motors and Ford, who have production lines in Mexico. Speaking to Reuters, Chris Brigatti, Chief Investment Officer of Southwest Business Corporation, says consumers will bear the brunt of Trump's tariffs.
The tariff situation and its effect on the domestic U.S. economy are really a bigger concern now that we have a more aggressive stance coming out of Washington. And that being said, the stagflation issue is rearing its head. And stagflation is quite simply a stagnant or if not rising, a stable inflation rate, but a declining economic base. And I expect these specific tariffs to be damaging to the economy while increasing the prices of goods and services.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said on Monday Ottawa would hit back with 25% tariffs on up to about $107 billion worth of U.S. goods. Mexico's economy ministry said President Claudia Sheinbaum is expected to announce her response Tuesday. On Tuesday, markets responded to the news with stocks falling and bond yields sliding across Asia and Japan's Nikkei closing down 1.2%. Trump's America First agenda, aimed at redrawing trade relationships in favor of the U.S., is expected to be a centerpiece of his Tuesday night address to a joint session of Congress.
Keep in mind, this report was from a day ago. This is just to highlight the top report from the other day. And there's one thing that I do want to put into this segment here, which is an updated video report that just came out an hour ago. So this is pretty much what's updated right now from yesterday's report. Trump gives some automakers 1 month a tariff break. This from Reuters.
U.S. President Donald Trump will exempt automakers from his punishing 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico for 1 month, as long as they comply with the terms of an existing free trade agreement. That's according to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt.
The president is giving them an exemption for 1 month so they are not at an economic disadvantage. So the three companies that he spoke to are Stellantis, Ford, and General Motors. They requested the call. They made the ask, and the president is happy to do it. It's a 1 month exemption.
Auto stocks rose on the news. Trump is also open to hearing about other products that should be exempted from the tariffs, which took effect Tuesday, the White House said. The levies pose extreme difficulties for automakers, which produce vehicles in all three countries and often ship parts across North American borders multiple times as they get built up into systems and finished vehicles. Automakers have expressed support for boosting U.S. investment, but want certainty over tariff policies as well as on vehicle emissions rules, two industry sources told Reuters. Trump also might eliminate the 10% tariff on Canadian energy imports, such as crude oil and gasoline, a source familiar with the discussion said. The announcement came after a phone call in which Trump said on Truth Social he told Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that his country is not doing enough to stop fentanyl smuggling.
He said that he was not pleased, as you said. He said it's not good enough. He told Prime Minister Justin Trudeau that directly. The call ended in a somewhat friendly manner, as the president said, but he's not going to stop standing up for the American people.
Talks will continue between the two countries, Trudeau's office said. The tariffs could threaten to derail Canada's fledgling economic recovery and could trigger a recession, as the country relies on the United States for 75% of its exports and a third of all imports. Trade tensions may already be hurting the United States. New data released on Wednesday showed slowing payroll growth, as well as lower wage growth for workers who switch jobs, with uncertainty around Trump's policies a likely factor.
Yeah, what Trump doing is just does not make sense at all. I mean, if he's basically punishing Canada, which is hardly responsible for a problem they're claiming that we're causing, fentanyl and migrant crossings. That's only for less than 1% for fentanyl, which is probably around 0.3% I saw, and for migrant it was only like 1%, and it's pretty much a more major problem down on the Mexican border. And so why are we getting punished for this? And yeah, things are going to cost a lot more, just like across the board for like groceries and whatnot, essentially on both sides of the border, because we trade back and forth for like a lot of stuff, like food, oil, water, just basically the necessities of life. And plus the other thing too is that this pretty much just goes down to that Trump just wants to take over Canada, to take over our resources too, which is, water and oil. They want these things. That way they'll protect themselves from running out of resources in the coming decades, because we all know that, the world is not going to last forever, and it seems to be escalating at a pretty fast rate over the next few decades. So essentially, countries are just trying their best to get as much resources as they can, but Trump is just doing it in a really selfish and obnoxious way, and yeah, it's just going to backfire in it. But he doesn't really care. He's impulsive, he's egotistical, and he has no self-control. All right. And if there are any major developments on this, I will bring that to you, because this is a very important story for everyone right now during this time. It's just wild how this is developing, like, day by day, and there's pretty much nothing really much we can do about it. But we can be angry and direct our anger to the Trump administration for doing this, and we'll just have to hang in there, help each other. All right, let's get to On This Day for March 5th, 2009. This from the Associated Press. Michael Jackson was in London to announce a series of live shows after a 10-year absence from the concert circuit.
These will be my final show performances in London. This will be it. This is it. And when I say this is it, it really means this is it. Ten
dates were planned at London's O2, which would have made Michael Jackson around $68 million.
I'll be performing the songs my fans want to hear. This is it. I mean, this is really it. This is the final curtain call. Okay? And I'll see you in July.
Two websites crashed within minutes of tickets going on sale. Oh, wait a sec.
I love you.
I can't see for the subtitles here. Okay, so two websites crashed within minutes of tickets going on sale. The show sold out, and organizers added another 40 nights.
I love you. This is it, and see you in July.
Jackson died just a month before the concert was to start. And last but not least, today in history. Looks like I lost it. Just give me a sec to get that back. One moment here. Today in history, right here. Is it on your guys' screen here? No, apparently not. Let's get back there. Today in history will show the past events in world history from this day here. I am there, I think. It's not up here. Oh, okay, there we go. So, today in history for March 5th. This from the Associated Press.
March 5th, 1770. The Boston Massacre takes place, an event that contributes to the outbreak of the American Revolution a few years later. It happens when British soldiers in Boston, taunted by a crowd of American colonists, open fire and kill 5 people. 1946. In Fulton, Missouri, Britain's Winston Churchill warns about the Soviet Union's growing influence in Eastern Europe after World War II.
From Stettin in the Baltic to Trieste in the Adriatic, an iron curtain has descended across the continent.
1953. The Soviet Union's dictator Joseph Stalin dies at age 73, ending a brutal rule of nearly 30 years that made Moscow a world superpower. 1982.
Over? Did you say over? Nothing is over until we decide it is!
In Hollywood, comedian John Belushi is found dead of a drug overdose. He was 33. Belushi starred in TV's original Saturday Night Live and the movies Animal House and The Blues Brothers. And 1963.
Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely.
Singer Patsy Cline dies with 2 other country music performers in a plane crash near Camden, Tennessee. She was 30. Today in history, March 5th, Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
And that is today's world headlines. Stay tuned after the break. We will begin Persona 5. Don't go away. We'll be right back.